You keep calling it laziness, but that is not what this is. You want to do the thing. You think about doing the thing. You even feel guilty for not doing it. And still, when the moment comes, your mind pulls away. You scroll. You clean. You suddenly care about things that did not matter 5 minutes ago. Then the day ends, and now you're blaming yourself again. But here's the part most people miss. When you cannot start, it is often not because you do not care. It is because something in you believes starting will cost too much. Not just effort, emotion. Most people think motivation is something you either have or do not have. That is too shallow. Motivation is not random. It comes more easily when a task feels clear, doable, and not too heavy inside you. It falls when the task feels confusing, overwhelming, or tied to pain. That is why you can care deeply about something and still avoid it. Your mind is not always asking, "Is this important?" Sometimes it is asking a different question entirely. Is this safe enough to begin? And when the answer feels uncertain, motivation drops. Not because you are weak, because your mind is trying to protect you from something it reads as too much. This is where people get stuck. The task stops being just a task. Cleaning the room becomes proof that you are finally getting your life together. Working on the goal becomes a test of whether you really have what it takes. Now you are not trying to do one simple thing. You are trying to carry the meaning you attach to it, and that is heavy. When a task starts carrying fear, pressure, perfectionism, or shame, your mind does what overwhelmed minds do. It delays, not because delay feels good, because delay feels easier than facing what the task has come to represent. This is also why you can spend an hour doing little things and still avoid the one thing that matters. Small tasks feel clean. They end quickly. They do not threaten your identity. But the real task carries uncertainty. You could fail. You could do it badly. You could try hard and still not get the result you hoped for. So your mind moves toward what feels easier to finish. Not because it is lazy. Because finishing something small feels easier than facing something that could hit deeper. That is why people can stay busy all day and still feel like they avoided their life. The mistake is thinking the answer is more pressure. So you shame yourself. You call yourself undisciplined. You try to force movement through self-criticism. But pressure does not always create action. Sometimes it makes the task feel even more threatening. Now the work is not only difficult. Now it is full of self-blame too. And that makes starting even harder. The problem was never just the effort. The problem was that the task slowly became emotionally expensive. So, if you have been struggling to start, it may not be a motivation problem in the way you think it is. It may be that the task stopped feeling like something you do and started feeling like something that defines you. And once that happens, pressure stops helping. Because now you are not just trying to begin. You are trying to face everything the task might say about you if it goes badly. You care. But the weight attached to starting has become heavier than the task itself. And when that happens, the mind pulls back. Not because you do not want your life. Because the task stopped being work. It became a measure of you. So when you cannot start, do not ask what is wrong with you. Ask what made this feel so heavy. Once you see that, the struggle starts making sense.